Hi, I'm Davina. Now, picture this. It's your wedding day and your mom is all over you. She gets on everyone's nerves 'cause it's your wedding day and she's making sure everything goes according to plan. She looks at you with such proud, contented eyes. She tells you sweet words, acknowledging the woman you've become and the great wife you'll be. Now, this image might come so easily to some of you, but not me. I don't see my mom within a fair radius from me on my wedding day 'cause, as you read from the title, I make her itch all over. Don't forget to like and subscribe. From the young age of 2, I don't think I ever got along with my mother. My dad and I were definitely two peas in a very comfy pod. I remember I could stay up for hours just waiting for him to arrive home. He always had goodies for me. My mom, however, well, you could say she had a sore spot for my brother than she did for me. She could stare at me for hours on end, tapping on her stupid notebook with her pen. It was so creepy, and she found fault with everything I did.
Dad, Mom just took my phone. Can you believe it? She says I need to finish my homework and I told her I'm using it for my homework. But she's allowing Scott to use his.
Where's she? Daniela, why did you take Davina's phone?
She's been on the phone for hours claiming to do her homework, but she's done nothing. You've got to stop tolerating her nonsense, Harry.
Just give her her phone. You need to do better as a mother. You're making her think you don't love her.
You're the one making her feel I'm against her. I wash my hands off both of you.
I was young. I never understood that by constantly complaining about my mom, I drifted my parents away from each other. Then my nightmares became a reality when my dad traveled overseas. The horror of living with my mom immediately began. You make me so miserable. Maybe you shouldn't have given birth to me if you were going to hate me. Get back here, young lady. I'm not your dad. Sit down this instant. I want to leave this house for you and Scott. Oh, really? And go where? I don't know. Anywhere from you. You need to stop treating me like an animal. Why don't you do that with Scott? I already know how lastborn behaves. I was one. Your dad was one. I'm studying you to know how firstborns behave. Don't get me wrong. My mom was truly a terrible person. She was a psychologist and used me as experiments all the time. She deliberately made me angry, and according to her, it was to learn how firstborns behaved under certain temperaments. She treated me like a lab monkey, studied me, manipulated me to behave a certain way in order to write her best-selling books. She never celebrated my birthday, never told me she loved me, but did all this for Scott. When asked, she'd give the same firstborn excuse. But on my 18th birthday, she threw me a birthday party, and not only that, she finally uttered the words. I love you, Davina. I'm sorry I've never been as soft and mushy as your father, but you do understand, don't you, dear? I mean, I took it like that. Then I went off to college, got a best friend, Melody, who became close like a sister and moved in with her after school. We worked in the same company as editors. One day, my mom came to visit, and you won't believe what happened. Now don't get me wrong. I love when my friends get close with my mother. It never happened 'cause that woman never even got along with me, how much more my friends. Yet I got the shock of my life. Teresa stopped by earlier today at my department, and we had such great time. Who? My mom? Yeah. I mean, I asked if you could join us, but she said she'd already spoken to you, and you said we should go on without you. You spent the day with my mom? Where was I? At work? I don't get it. I thought you were aware. No, I'm not even aware she's here. I mean, I know she's supposed to arrive today, and I was supposed to get her from the airport. Oh yeah, I did that. She asked. I couldn't say no. Have you been talking to my mother? I mean, yeah. She called me one time to review some chapters of her new book for her before she sent it to her editor, and we've hit it off very much. Your mom is so funny. You're so lucky to have a mom like her. Excuse me. I thought to myself, what the hell was going on? I went to my bedroom and called her. Mom, are you here in town? Oh yeah, I got back like 5 hours ago. Melody told you, I guess. Why didn't you call me to pick you from the airport? Oh dear, don't do that with me. I'm not your dad. What are you talking about? I thought we'd put everything behind us on my 18th birthday. Oh dear, no. I just wanted to see how affection from a mother affected you now that you were grown. It was all an act for my new book, and it worked. You saw the sales? Yeah, Mother. I wouldn't know 'cause I didn't read. Well, you should. People really commented about how love makes people needy. Do you even hear yourself, Mother? It's not my fault you're needy, Davina. And it's not my fault needy people make me itch all over. I couldn't believe it. To think my mother acted nice for the first time in my life, and it was only for a book. I was furious, angry. But I kept my calm. It was just a matter of time before she pushed me away too. Over the years, my dad discerned how manipulative she was and left her. That was when I realized their failed marriage was never my fault. Scott discerned her manipulation tactics with him too, and skedaddled. The following day, though, we met at a diner for lunch. You shouldn't eat like that, Davina. You're only 23. Soon you'll get married. That's if you're lucky to land a man, and if you keep gorging down food like that, you'd look hideous after your first child. Thanks, Mom. It's just a piece of advice. You can take it if you want. All right, Mom. I've had 2 kids, but look at me. People stop me and ask me if I've ever had children at all. I always tell them I have 1 child, a boy. I was surprised she even admitted to having a child. I mean, my mom's derision grew over the years after my dad left. She threw parties in the house like a 16-year-old. Why have you always been like this? I mean, I honestly thought you were jealous of me and Dad's bond, but over the years, I realized it was never that. You're just a cruel, condescending woman. Please. Jealous? The bond between you and your father made me want to throw up. It was disgusting. You know what? You're an adult now. I should tell you the truth. I love you, Davina. No, you don't, Mom. I mean, you hang out with my friend more than you do with me, which, by the way, I'm deliberately not bringing up. Oh yeah, Melody. I even asked her to join us for lunch, but she said you seemed upset about yesterday, which is typical. I mean, after the way your dad raised you, I expect you to be so needy. You know what? I forgive you. I forgive you for the experiments you ran on me, for making me regret my existence, for all the things that I never did to you yet was my fault. I forgive you, Mom. When I said that, something shifted in the atmosphere. She removed her glasses, and for the first time in 23 years, I saw the woman shed a tear. It was as if she needed that moment. She needed me to say those words to her. Before meeting her for lunch, I'd planned to dissociate from her, but at that moment, I felt pity for her. Later, I got to know what drove her to be a psychologist, and if you guessed her own messed-up childhood, then you're right. I didn't blame her after that. I just accepted her the way she was. Our bond didn't miraculously blossom after that, but we're all right. I mean, we get along fine. Mother's came in a single package, and if this was mine, so be it. She's not getting invited to my wedding, though. I'm joking. She'll be invited, but she'll be in the last row with the people we invite to weddings by sheer courtesy, and don't care whether they come or not. So, what can you learn from my story? Mothers, right? If you're close with your mother, I'm not going to deny the fact that I envy you. But if you're like me, whose relationship is strained with the person who brought you into this world, what can you do? Your mother makes you feel like you ruined her when she had you, and you've tried all your life to please her, and it never worked. Just know it's not your fault. Maybe just like my mother, there's some unresolved issues from her childhood, or let's face it, your mom's just a horrible person. What can you do? Be the child to her, care for her, respect her, and honor her. That's the only thing you can do. And I wish you the best. It's a daunting path, and there are moments when the fear of becoming like my mother looms large. Yet, I find solace in the love bestowed by my father and the lessons on goodness gleaned from those around me. To those sharing a similar plight, rest assured that your unique journey can mold you into an exceptional parent, breaking the cycle of parental discord.